Hey, Nodpil Nighthawks. This is Module 3, Lesson 5. Our focus this week is I will be able to multiply multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000 by single digits, recognizing patterns. So this is something that we did in the beginning of the year with that first unit. And we were using the place value chart to really show us what that looks like. So we're going to do some practice ones, and then we're going to see if we can recognize the patterns. Okay. So our first problem is 2 ones times 4. To show this, I'm going to draw 2 ones, and I'm going to multiply that by 4. So 2 ones times 4. So those are my 2 ones, but I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, those aren't very straight. Groups of 2, because that's really what we're doing when we multiply, is we are showing multiple groups of that number. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2. So 2 ones times 4, and then we can count up how many we have. 2, 4, 6, 8. So if we were to come down here and say 2 ones times 4 is equal to 8 ones. Okay, let's see if we can watch for the pattern as we're going through on our next one. So our next one is 2 tens times 4. 2 tens times 4. So we're going to do the same thing. I have two tens, and we're going to multiply that by 4. So here's my 2 tens. And I need 4 groups of that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can show that those groups. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can also say that 2 ones times 4, which we had deleted it when I was clearing stuff, is equal to 8 ones. Well, 2 tens times 4 is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 tens. You can probably already see a pattern. So we can do that. Same, I can actually just leave it. So we have 2 hundreds times 4. So we're going to do the same thing, come over to our hundreds place. I have 2 hundreds, 1, 2, and then I have times 4. So I'm going to have 4 groups of those. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we could circle our groups. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. These look like little Pac-Man. So now we can say we have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 groups of 100. 8 groups of 100. We have 8 hundreds. Not 8 groups of 100. We have 8 hundreds. And then our 2,000s times 4. We can come over here and represent our 2,000s. There's 1, 2 times 4, 2. And again, you could probably guess how many we're going to have, right? Because if we know that 2 times 4 is equal to 8, and I have 2 of something, I'm multiplying it by 4, it's going to give me 2, 4, 6, 8. So if I come down here, I'm going to have 8 thousands. So if you were to rewrite these, and you can see that multiplication sentence instead of our word form. So 2 tens would be equal to 20 times 4. 8 tens is 80. 200s, 200 times 4 is equal to 800. You're seeing the pattern? I want you to watch the zeros. Look at the zeros as we go up. Okay, so as we go up in our tens, so here's ones, tens, hundred, thousands, that same pattern is in our products, our answers. So there's ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, so if we understand what we're multiplying by and think of our place value chart with our units, then that's going to help us multiply by tens, hundreds, and thousands by single digits. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. And we're going to look at our problem set for today. So it says draw place value just to represent the value of the following. So we have 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 ones is blank ones. Well, we can show that on our place value chart, just like we just did. So 2 times 3 ones. So we have 1, 2, 3. But we're taking that, multiplying it by 2. 1, 2, 3. So you can see we have our 2 groups of 3. And how many ones does that give us? We have 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we come back over here, we can say 2 times 3 ones is 6 ones. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Okay. And then we could do that again with our 2 times 30. This is very similar to what we just did, but different numbers. 2 times 30 would be how many tens? How many tens would make 30? 3. So we would have 2 times 3 tens. Let's see what we get. 2 times 3 tens. So I'm going to show 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. But I'm multiplying that by 2, so I need 2 groups of the 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. And then we can circle that to show our groups. So here's my 1 group of 3, 2 groups of 3. What does that give us? 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. 6 tens would give us 60. Okay, 60. So even though we have that extra 0 in there, we're working with tens instead of ones. Look at our pattern, right? 3 times 2 is 6, which would be 30 times 2 would be 60. You guys can probably guess what's going to happen next, right? 2 times 300. Well, 2 times 3 we know is 6, but we're multiplying by hundreds. So 2 times 300 would be 600. Okay. We can prove that on our place value chart as well. So we can say 2 times 300s is 600s. Let's show that on our place value chart. Let's double check our work. So if I have 2 times 300, so I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, multiplying that by 2, 1, 2, 3. So we can show our groups. There's my 2 groups of 3 because I multiplied it by 2 is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. Okay, you guys catching on? This one, 2 times 3 thousands, right? Well, 2 times 3 we know is 6. So 2 times 3,000 would be 6,000. Catching on to the pattern? We're multiplying by hundreds, it's going to give us hundreds. Thousands, thousands, if we're multiplying by a single digit. Okay. So then we can come down here and it just says find the product. So we're going to use what we just learned. Okay. We're going to think about our place value chart and see if it'll let me type in there. Okay, so if I have 20 times 7, well, that's 2 10s times 7. Going to give me what's 2 times 7, right? Those basic math facts that we've been working on. 2 times 7 is going to give us 14 10s. Well, what do we know about our place value charts? If I have 14 10s, what's that going to equal to? You can think of 10 10s is equal to 100. So this is going to be equal to 140. Okay, we're going to do a couple together, and then I'm going to save some for your practice. So this is going to be 3 times 6 10s equal to, what's 3 times 6? Those basic facts is going to give us 18 10s. Or we can rewrite that as 180. Do 100, and then we'll do 1,000 together. We have 3 times 4 hundreds. What's 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. It's going to be 12 hundreds is equal to 1200. When we read that, we kind of say the answer. Let's do 1,000 together. So 4 times 8 thousands. What's 4 times 8? 4 times 8 gives us 32. It's not just 32, it's 32 thousands. And then we can rewrite that, oopsie, in number form, which would be 32,000. Okay. You're going to get to do some of these on your practice. I don't want to do them all here because I want to save some for your practice work and your questions. But let's do this word problem together, okay? So it says Brianna buys 3 packs of balloons for a party. Each pack has 60 balloons. How many balloons does Brianna have? Well, if we know that she has 3 packs, that's going to be important. And each pack has 60, so we're going to multiply it times 60. We could rewrite that as 3 times 6 10s. What's 3 times 6? 18, but it's not just 18, it's going to be 18 10s, which is equal to 180. So because it's a word problem, let's get our answer statement. We can say our question was, how many balloons does Brianna have? Brianna has 180 balloons. Okay. All right, so I'm going to save the next word problem for your Edpuzzle. Do your practice pages, watch for the patterns, make sure you're understanding that place value chart. And it's not just 3 times 6, right? It's 3 times 6, 10s. That's going to change our value. That's going to change our answer value. This will be pretty consistent with our next couple of lessons, so you'll get really good practice with it. Ask questions. We'll be reviewing in small groups. Keep working hard. We'll see you guys soon.